6:45 p.m. on a Tuesday in St. Louis, Missouri.
Guys, I got some news, some terrible news. We got a huge problem.
I feel like we could do a podcast and it would be a million times better than whatever that drivel was we were listening to.
What the hell is a podcast? What is that? The future of radio, you jabronis.
Hey yo, and welcome to the Always Sunny Cast. I'm your co-host Eric.
I'm co-host Ross.
And this is the podcast where we celebrate comedy, we celebrate Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and maybe we celebrate ourselves a little bit.
You know, a little bit of that goes a long way. I like it.
And we do an episode by episode, scene by scene breakdown just to get to the heart of what makes it so funny.
Nailed it.
And Ross, today's episode is so funny and so good, we had to bring in a ringer. We had to bring someone in to help us out to talk about this.
Whoa. Not just anybody, right?
Taking time away from manipulating metal, it's Will Morris. Will, welcome to the show.
Hi. Hello. Super good to be here, guys.
It's nice to have you. Yeah. We always appreciate the help breaking this down because, frankly, it's a lot of work, and Ross and I are lazy. And, and if someone else can, do some of the heavy lifting, hey, come on.
I'm here to help. Hey, where there's a will, there's a way.
Will, what is your relationship with Always Sunny? When do you think you founded and what's your earliest memories of Always Sunny?
It was definitely a slow burn for me. I had been, pointed to it a couple times, but probably I think it was I actually tore my Achilles and I had to have surgery, so I was laid up for 6 months. And during that time, I consumed all of Netflix and Always Sunny. Something I was like, people told me about this, and I've seen an episode or two and thought it was funny and just never pursued it. But once I deep dove, from the first to the last, I was hooked, and so I've burned through the seasons a handful of times. Just on repeat.
Nice.
Well, I gotta ask, how did you break that Achilles?
Oh, it's a stupid story. I was trying to push. I was trying to push a car up a incline, and I just locked my knees up, and it snapped, and it didn't hurt at all. Actually, when it happened,
you have that car to thank.
Yeah, you could drive those. You can drive those now.
We'll see.
You don't have to push him anymore.
I know, but that's a new new adaptation they've made in the last couple of years. At least in my case.
You're old school.
Yeah.
You know what? On your point though, I think Netflix and that was such a game changer for something like Always Sunny. Whereas when it was watchable, just kind of being aired, I didn't really watch it. It was hard for me to get to in a way. You know what I mean? But yes, that just being able to binge them all like that totally is such a game changer, especially for something like this, I think.
Oh yeah, it makes it easier to find, and it just takes the choice off you. Just watch another. Just watch another.
Hey, that was good, right? You want more of that? Here it is.
Yeah.
Actually, we're gonna give it to you whether you gotta tell us you don't want it. We might ask if you're alive once in a while, but
yeah,
we'll keep them coming. We got them racked up.
Well, I see that you two are greased up and ready to rock. So,
I get so much grease sliding out of my chair.
Let's jump into this. Today we're talking season 5, episode 7. The gang wrestles for the troops. Original air date is October 29th, 2009. Written by Scott Motter and Rob Rosell. By the way, a little interjection here. It seems like Scott Motter and Rob Rosell are writing all of our favorite episodes.
Oh yeah, you've mentioned this before.
Yeah, it seems like that seems to be what's happening here. This was directed by Randall Einhorn. And Ross, what is that IMDb summary?
The IMDb summary is as follows. The gang decides to put on a wrestling show for the troops returning home, while Dee courts a soldier who doesn't seem like the person she's chatting with online.
Wait a minute. Who wrote that? That's not what happens.
Well, the second part where Dee courts a soldier who doesn't seem like the person she's chatting with.
Yeah, he does seem like the person. Yeah. He even says he's the person.
Right.
Strange.
IMDb, that's like a D-.
Yeah, I really lost it there in the final act. This episode was written in 2009, so what was going on in the world?
Okay, the 2009 WWE Hall of Fame inductees are Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Cowboy Bill Watts, Howard Finkel, Coco Beware, The Funks, and the Von Erichs.
Now, I heard of one of those people.
Really? That's it?
Yeah, Stone Cold, I would say. I never heard of Coco B. What was it? Coco B. What was it? Coco B. Waltz?
Coco Beware. I'm pretty sure he was a bird guy. I'm not kidding. I think he had
Ross,
a thing with like birds.
A bird man. It's infinitely more cooler.
I'm just saying. No, he was like a bird guy. He like had a thing with birds. He came out with the bird on his shoulder. I'm not kidding.
Okay, I guess that's
either that or I'm way off, and I'm thinking of someone else.
This leads me to my first question: is you two, Will, Ross? Will, have you been to wrestling? Are you familiar with wrestling? What is your wrestling knowledge?
Well, I did some research, but no, I grew up with friends that, were really into wrestling, and I kind of watched it around with them, and I could get into it and be like, oh yeah. So I mean, I know, early mid 90s, like when Stone Cold, The Rock. I kind of...
It's like the Attitude Era is what they call it.
Right.
When, like, The Rock and, like, I don't know, everyone was kind of, like, breaking out of those, like, characters that are, like, I'm the Undertaker. Or,
all right,
like,
before Ross gets to it, it seems like Ross... Okay, Ross, it seems like you know about wrestling.
Like, I want to talk about it. I grew up on wrestling. I would have been friends with Will.
I just want to say that, well, like Will, I kind of have... I have like some knowledge of wrestling, and especially that time frame, The Rock and stuff. That's like, because it was in like almost pop culture. You just kind of knew it. And, but other than that, I think like, like him, like I've had friends that liked it and I kind of watch it through them. It's cool when it's on. That's fine, but I'm not seeking it out.
Oh no, I was a kid seeking it out.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Much like you have a passion for Zorro, I had a little passion for wrestling.
I also I have friends that would show me clips later on too, so I did get more of a broader
like a reintroduction.
Yeah, but I mean they also did more martial arts stuff that kind of led them. That was kind of their stepping stone into like I have friends that do judo and like capoeira and shit like that.
That makes what that reminds me. What wrestling I do know is WCW versus NWO for the Nintendo 64.
Right,
truly,
that was a really good game.
Truly one of the best like fighting games I played, and there was a ninja. There's a character. His name was just Ninja. He looked like a ninja.
Like just generic, like
yeah, it was generic. It just was not. It was like not based on anyone. It was just Ninja, and he did all of like Rey Mysterio type moves where like he's flipping off everything and spinning around, and it was the best. Yeah, it was awesome. All right, well, yeah, thank you. So you guys are gonna have to help me out here with the wrestling stuff as we go forward.
Yeah, I can get you out of this jam.
Okay, nice. So let's jump into it here. Cold open, 12:30 p.m. on a Saturday in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. At Patty's, the gang are watching wrestling on Dee's laptop, and they decide to put on a show for the troops. So we start off here with them watching a Hulk Hogan versus Nikolai Volkov. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Nikolai Volkov. His
Do you have
real name is...
Well, okay. Go ahead. You get all the info. I'm not even going to ask. Go ahead.
It's like Josef Hoje Preuzovic, and he was born October 14th, 1947. Unfortunately passed July 29th, 2008.
Yeah, his gimmick was an evil Russian, right?
Yeah, pretty much. He went by the names of Bipo Mongol, Boris Breznikov, and Executioner 3, which I think was kind of a breakout role for him.
Boris Brezhnikov.
So he was a evil Russian villain like during the Cold War in a similar way that Rickety Cricket is sort of like a villain. You know what I mean? It's the same type of wrestling stereotype.
That's actually a good point. I didn't even make that connection.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's the same type of wrestling stereotype where the heel is sort of like what's going on in the world.
Yeah, like the world enemy right now.
Yeah, the world enemy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, do you know what? Like, so the little bit of research I did on this. This was from the Saturday Night Main Event from 1985. Is this footage?
Actually, it was 1980. No, I don't know. Yeah, that sounds really good.
Now, Have you two ever sat around with your friends watching wrestling clips from 1985?
Not once.
Probably.
Yeah, okay, good, nice. Yeah, they're just sitting around watching this. They're watching it on Dee's laptop.
I was gonna say, is this episode sponsored by Dell? Like,
Yeah,
what is that like? Odd choice.
So they're watching this, and Dee is confused. Dee obviously has never really seen wrestling, and she's very curious about what Hulk Hogan's deal is. She claims he has silken. I love the way she phrases silken. I never hear that word, silken.
Right.
He has silken hair of like a Chinese man, is how she phrases it.
In the skin of a hot dog.
Apparently, that's his signature look. Yeah, it's his signature look.
Yeah, totally.
What a wild story Hogan is, huh?
Oh God. I mean, what a weird guy.
I didn't even want to get into Hogan. Like getting into Hogan.
We're not going to talk about Hogan.
No,
Hogan's
it's a whole
canceled.
nother podcast. Yeah. Yeah, and he does. I don't know about the hair. I don't know so much about the hair, but he does look like he's a hot dog. He does have a hot dog skin. That is 100% accurate.
Yeah, he's like red. He looks sunburned.
Yeah.
Them early tanning beds, man, they were unregulated.
Yeah.
Apparently not. What light bulbs they were using?
Now when they're watching this, Dennis drops this little like, yeah, this is, it's fake, but it's awesome. So this is where now, and this sparks from Frank this idea that it's not. What were when you guys were young? What was it fake and not fake? What was your stance?
I remember when I was a kid, this was like a huge debate, right? Like adults were like wanted to know.
Yeah, and it's I don't think it could be more obvious. There's a guy who comes up out of a tomb, like a grave. There's there's a guy, right?
Yeah,
and there's
he has a brother that can raise fire from the ground.
Exactly, and there's the $1 million man. Yeah, this is fake.
My favorite villain of all time, $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
So yeah, but Frank says something interesting here because it's a weird bit of foreshadowing where he has been to a wrestling match where someone was hit with a trash can and blood went everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So is he just ripping off someone's act? What's he doing? He says he's seen this and then he's doing it.
I don't know. He gets the idea from the gang that wrestling is fake, so I think he gets over that fear of the trash can and blood. I think he just wants to become it because he remembered it and thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel on that level, it's after watching it for the umpteenth time, it was kind of he maybe I don't know he wanted that to be an outcome or not oh it's fake, I'm gonna go fuck some shit up.
Are you saying he secreted it into existence? He thought about it being a thing and then it materialized into a thing?
Kind of. I mean, yeah. Essentially, he's I saw a guy get bashed and he was fucked up or whatever. It's well, if it's fake, Yeah. If it happens in the ring, does that make it okay?
He does, to your point there, we'll get to this later on, but you're right. To his point later when he's talking about I'll hit him with a trash can, he goes, well, no one's going to get hurt. It's fake.
Yeah, and it says it almost mockingly.
He's easily duped into believing that no one's going to get hurt.
Yeah, because at the end he's I knew this shit was real or whatever, but does he think just by being in the ring and hitting someone with something it's not going to hurt just because they say it's fake? So nothing will hurt. I don't understand really.
I don't know. In the end, I think Frank is just teaching them a lesson the hard way. No, wrestling is real. I just wanted to show you.
That's exactly kind of what I was getting at. But you articulated, but the way he says well, no one's gonna get hurt. It's fake, right? It's kind of that same mocking tone as him recording the home makeover thing. Let's get a real backdraft going in here.
Oh, yeah. He's trying to cause chaos.
Yeah.
He's throwing gasoline on the fire.
But it's just strange. Like, you're writing this episode. You write that he saw someone get hit with a trash can and blood went in. Like, you could write that he saw someone get hit with a table or something else, and then he does something similar. But he literally describes exactly what he does later on in the episode. I don't know. It's maybe we'll find out that Frank traveled through time and he saw
Frank
himself.
was that wrestler.
Yeah.
Frank's infinite past. Maybe he was a wrestler at one point.
Yeah, that'd be.
Well, it's kind of like a title card joke though too, because I've seen they've done that in other episodes where they say exactly what happens is going to happen. It's like the mansion, like you're gonna do something and end up like you Charlie being you can't. You can't, in the name of the law, the hurting the kids, then you have to give their property to them, and says exactly the thing that. So that's kind of is like that comedy sort of like we're gonna get this one in there.
Attention, this is the worst that can happen, and then it does.
Right,
it's just planting the seeds in your mind, like oh right, yeah, exactly. So Frank is confused about it being fake here. He says it's real. He saw a guy get hit, and they just telling him no, dude, it's fake. And then Deke turns her attention back to the laptop, and it seems like Hulk is in a state of hulk-a-mania.
Yeah,
and she's confused by it.
That's what nothing can hurt him.
It's like a seizure of strength.
Seizure of strength. It's so contradicting. It's great.
Like, it's so funny. Like, people were questioning if wrestling was real. There was like a guy in a state of like invincibility.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And like it's so funny the little clip that they do show, like when he's getting hit, his reactions and stuff. It's like, he's like so overselling it.
He was kind of like one of the originals of like hyping up crowds like that.
Yeah, I would say so. The he used to do the air thing, right?
Yeah, like the fandemonium, getting the crowd going, like that was his thing.
Have you ever been to a live wrestling match, either of you?
Yes, I have. I went to WrestleMania 16. Look it up. It was in Boston.
Nice. I've never been anywhere close.
I actually went to a few local wrestling matches.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, I guess the last thing I got to ask you is, have you wrestled yourself? Have you donned a costume and wrestled?
I may own a leotard. I don't know. I'm not going to answer that.
So yeah, she's confused here about the state of hulk-a-mania, and she gets like a message that very strangely pops up over the video here. And she's chatting on AIM or something. I'm not sure what she's doing.
This is like not a real message.
Not a real thing. This is a TV thing. Yeah,
I wrote that down. Like what app is she? Like what the hell?
Yeah,
I think there were apps back then.
Yeah, I would like to pop up over a video so everyone can just see is kind of strange. And so a message comes up here from someone named Soldier of Fortune, and they're talking about how they can't get her out of her mind, get her out of his mind. And do you know what the term Soldier of Fortune means?
Yes, I looked it up. A mercenary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't fit Ben's persona for some reason. His screen name, don't you think? It's a little strange.
Well, I thought it was an interesting choice at all, but like Soldier of Fortune means like he's getting paid to be there. He doesn't like believe in the cause. That's what I took from it. Yeah,
you do whatever for either for fun or for adventure or for pay. It's a soldier for hire. Yeah. And the gang starts kind of getting on her case here about this. And so if he's Soldier of Fortune, that makes her Desert Rose. So we get our first Desert Rose, which is a great name. Just a great name. Desert Rose.
Oh, I was going to say, that pan over to Charlie's face at that moment, he's like the face that he makes during that.
Yeah. He's just like, he just like can't believe it. Yeah. And she's Desert Rose, and she's been chatting with this guy online, and go ahead, Russ.
Sorry about the Desert Rose. Did you look up the Desert Rose?
No, I just thought that was just a goofy thing D was doing. What is Desert Rose?
Well, that is a actual like flower.
Yeah, it's a succulent.
Yeah, it's a succulent, and it's described as long and low maintenance.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had a couple before, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big houseplant guy. Man, the more you talk to me, you'll see I'm into a lot of weird shit. Or, well, just shit in general.
Wow, yeah. No, I don't. I know very little about plants, and I thought desert rose was just like, like it would be like rare to find like an actual rose in the desert. So she's like special.
Oh, it does like have that like kind of like feeling to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what she's going for, because later on she's dressed
Kinda
like a regular
mirage
rose.
Almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So she does a rose, and this is so funny here, where like they're laughing at her about this, and she's like, "Yeah, well, that guy you're laughing at, he's a soldier," and they're just like, "Whoa!" Like, do not.
Charlie
joke.
is extremely like.
Don't
like,
lie.
into this one.
I love when
Don't make that up.
they love when they're patriotic. Like they're like their idea
Oh,
of
yeah.
patriotism
Especially
is
Charlie.
so it's so funny. Yeah. So yeah, don't even joke about that. That's this is serious. I love Dee's little suck on that. It's a kind of like a catchphrase of hers, don't you think?
Yeah, she said that before.
And they feel terrible. They feel awful.
I mean, he's gonna come home to this.
The
and
suicide
he's,
rate
like,
for these
pointing
guys.
into her face.
And they all start talking over each other, and that is such a great slow. Oh, we feel terrible now, and then we feel terrible for him. Kind of like the slow burn into that realization is really good. It's really, really good, and yeah, and they're getting like this is where they get on this kick here, where they're like, you know what? They're like upset. They're upset. They think that. Well, before we get there, so they start going like, oh, like people aren't proud to be American. They kind of get onto this point out of nowhere. They're like, you know what? People aren't proud to be Americans anymore. Like, they just start going on about this thing.
Yeah, Mac
Not
is
like they were in
doing
the 80s.
his like right wing like agenda.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, yeah, he's saying that, and because in the 80s, people were proud to be Americans, when they were killing Iranians. Like, he doesn't even know, like, what he's saying, in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, they're, like, saying, like, okay, let's well, he even says in the 80s, Hogan was doing, I love the way he phrases Hogan was doing his thing.
doing his thing.
His thing.
And then,
Hogan was doing his thing. Like, I don't know. It's like, what was Hogan's thing that he was referring to?
he was just kicking ass in the ring.
He's being a true American.
And Ross,
there's no fanfares anymore, no parades, and now girls are tricking troops over the internet.
I was just about to say, the girls tricking troops over the internet, and that's when Dee pipes in again, like, I'm not tricking anybody, and she's not. She doesn't
so
seem
funny.
to be, right?
No. She's like very transparent in this.
That could be an angle this episode could have went, is her kind of like her tricking, but she's really not. I mean, she does trick him later when she says that Artemis is her and blah, 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 whatever that we'll get there. But at first here, no, it's not really a trick. She really seems to be chatting with this guy.
This is a straightforward like chat.
And we're going to find out later. We don't really see it all that much this episode, a little bit, but we come to find out that Ben is like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, he really is. He's such a like well-intentioned person. Like, so like, I don't know. He's a real great guy.
So they're thinking here, you know what? We should be the guys to do something. Let's do something for the troops.
Yeah, Charlie, like, especially is behind this. He's like, yeah, let's be the guys. Like, he's creating this call to action.
I love when one of them comes up with an idea to do something, especially like something where they're going to like put on a show or they're going to like do some sort of performance. And like one of them always will rile up the other two. You know what I mean? Like they'll do like an impassioned speech, you know? And yeah, that's what Charlie's going on here. They're going to do something with put on something with some pizzazz. Charlie already knows what he wants to do.
Yeah. This is like, I mean, these guys, I think, are one of our favorite episodes where the beauty pageant.
Yeah, the beauty
Child
pageant,
beauty pageant. Yeah, Frank's Little Beauties. And this is like kind of like the same thing to me.
Yeah, it's them putting on a show, and
right.
putting on
they
a
even
show.
Call it a routine later, and like
yeah, putting on a performance and somewhat successfully. I think is the key to like us like loving it. Is they do it. They kind of do pull it off.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean.
If not, we at least get to see them fail.
Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna do something that maybe celebrates America, celebrates the troops, maybe celebrates us. Of course, they gotta celebrate themselves. I mean, what are we talking here?
This is really just like an excuse to like live their like childhood dreams of like being wrestlers.
Yeah. And we know what better way to give back to the troops. And then we see a clip from the wrestling match where Real American by Rick Derringer is playing. And Hulk Hogan's waving a flag around, doing his thing,
doing his
thing in the 80s. And yeah, he's doing his. He does this like how would we describe that on a podcast? How do you describe his ear thing?
He's doing like this like calling motion to his ear.
And like the wind up.
Yeah, winding up his
he's
ear.
Doing like a little windy like motion.
Yeah,
and his face is like
he does open his mouth.
Is there anything there? Like, I care. Yeah. He's so.
What's so funny is like, it's so funny because we see this wrestling match and like it's in this arena. There's people going nuts, and like the gang later on expect this. This is what they expect. This is what they think is going to happen when they go out there. You know what I mean? The gang wrestles for the troops. This was a 2-minute and 30-second cold open, a long one.
Yeah, it was a long one.
Yeah. And this, I don't know if you guys looked this up or anything with this, but this whole episode is a parody of the WWE's tribute to the troops, which is a real wrestling thing they do for the troops. Have you guys heard or seen this?
Really?
Yes, it's annual. They actually do it. They've been doing it every year for a while now. You can watch a bunch of clips on YouTube. And yes, it's called WWE Tribute to the Troops. It started in 2003.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, and it is exactly what you think it is. Like it's exactly the same thing they're doing, kind of, but on a bigger scale.
Oh,
yeah. So this
it's based on something. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's based in It's funny because we should be the ones to do this. They've already been doing it. They already do it.
Yeah.
It's already a thing that's been going on. All right, so after the opening credits, at a local wrestling match, Charlie, Dennis, and Mac come up with an idea for their wrestling personas and decide to hire a wrestler. Do we want to talk about Roddy Piper right now?
We could.
Yeah, they show him wrestling here a little bit. So let's. What do you got on the wrestler here?
The Maniac's played by Roddy Piper, real name Roderick George Toombs, born 1954. Sadly, recently passed in 2015. He was a World Tag Team Champion, a WWE Hall of Fame. He was the WWF Intercontinental Champion. He won a Slammy, and he has a WWE. They made a bronze statue of him. I guess awesome. If you go to WWE quarters, you can see it or something. He was in the movie They Live, Hell Comes to Frogtown, Portal to Hell, Jungle Ground, Adventure Time, and Eric Zorro.
He's in Zorro? No.
He's in like a TV series with Zorro.
That is awesome. I love he's so funny. He's so like it's
I thought
crazy.
you were gonna say you love Zorro.
I do love Zorro, but he's so good in this episode, and like he is so like I wish he was in this episode longer.
Yeah.
You know, like
I agree. He's like kind of like in and out.
Yeah, like
on the commentary, I was listening to the commentary, and like Glenn Howerton basically said it right. He was like, he should have played the wrestler in The Wrestler.
Yeah. Have you guys seen The Wrestler? I've never seen it. I know there's a parody of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it once. It was good. It was kind of sad. It's like kind of about like the real life of a wrestler, like past his prime, you know?
Yeah. It's a little bit of that.
Where the fanfare is gone and he's like kind of alone.
It's a little bit of that what we see later when they realize he's like living out of his car and the chestnuts. It's like that's kind of like what they're pulling from The Wrestler. Yeah. All right, So yeah, so this opens up here. There's wrestlers going on. The Maniac's in the ring. Mac comes up and he's booked this venue. I mean, how much do you think this costs?
He already booked it for Saturday.
Yeah, he booked it for Saturday. And they got a discount. They said it's for the troops. And what do you mean? Like, they're not donating any money to the troops, or they're just performing for them, right?
Yeah, they're putting on a show.
Yeah, great.
That's their gift is a show.
Great. And so yeah, so they booked this place. I wonder how much that cost to book. It's probably expensive.
I think what he meant to say is Frank booked this place for.
Yeah, that's right. That's
good point.
Right. Yeah, I would say anytime they mention anything about money, Frank did it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So Charlie and Mac talk here about how they used to wrestle when they were kids. They used to do backyard wrestling. They were the Pigeon Boys.
Mm-hmm. But, the name could use a little updating.
Yeah, the name could use a little bit of an updating now that they're older. And that's where Dennis, chips in, oh, hey, let's be Eagles. Right? What's more patriotic than Eagles?
Cylinders.
Yeah, totally. And he's right. It's an upgrade.
Yeah, totally. I mean, pigeons? Gross.
I love before we move on to, but Charlie's little cooing noise, the cooing pigeon noise.
Oh, he's so good at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn it.
It's hard to do.
I was too. You gotta close your.
That's good. There it is.
Yeah. Top of the palate. Yeah.
Eric, you give me one. I want one.
Yeah, yeah. You roll your R's for Spanish.
That was really.
I can't do it.
You can't. It's
I
like soft palate.
Listeners are loving this.
Yeah, this is great podcasting. So they're the Pigeon Boys, and this is where Mac's like, okay, we'll do the wrestling. We know how to wrestle, and why don't we get this guy in the mix? And they're pointing over at the Maniac.
The in the mix. That's kind of like a gang term.
But they're trying to. Mac is saying that they're gonna. The original idea, it's kind of muddied. You don't really realize it till later, but they're gonna wrestle him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the original idea.
Yeah, I think it's a bad idea from the beginning.
Oh yeah, it's not a good sign. I mean, they're like, yeah, maybe he could show us the ropes, and he's strangling this guy,
yeah. And they're gonna find out that his mania is not confined to that ring.
No, it is not.
So it's a bad idea, I think, from the beginning.
Before we leave that scene, I just want to mention the other wrestler in this scene is Don Fry. He was born 1965 from Sierra Vista, Arizona. He was a former UFC champion. He's a kickboxer.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're even credited.
I don't know. He's getting strangled on TV. I don't know. Give him credit. Give him credit.
Yeah, you're right. So outside the venue, Mac, Dennis, and Charlie hire the Maniac.
Hey, Maniac! Mr. Maniac! Mr. Maniac, hold up! Mr. Maniac, excuse me!
Something I can do for you fellas?
Yeah, man. Everyone said that was a great show, man. That was amazing, dude. That was so awesome, dude. You drank your own blood. And when you were choking the guy.
Just trying to pull on a good show.
Oh, you did.
No. Hey, let me do you a favor here. You good kids, Hang on.
Oh, what, do you get an autograph? No, we're good, man. That's all right.
We don't need an autograph, man. We're actually here for a different...
God bless you, man. You have a good time, whale away.
This is a parking ticket.
Betcha. You have fun with it, okay?
Actually, sir, I don't know if this is too forward to ask you this, but we're putting on a wrestling match for the troops coming home from overseas, and we were thinking maybe we could get you to wrestle in it.
How much?
Ooh, we haven't discussed that. How much do you usually charge?
$30 weekdays, $50 weekends.
Is that it?
Reasonable. That we can do.
Reasonable.
That we can do, yeah, absolutely.
Now.
Okay.
Now, all right. Give us some money.
Give that to him now. Spills. All right. Yeah. Boy.
So I love when this clip starts there, where I love Mr. Maniac. Could Mr. Maniac be any funnier?
No. I mean, they're being so polite, like they're children again,
Yeah, They come running up, Mr. Maniac, and they're being very complimentary to him. He put on a good show. The way
drank his own blood.
He drank. I would love to see this show. It must have been awesome.
Should go to wrestling.
And yeah, he just wants to put on a good show, and like this is where we get the first taste of his voice. I don't know what he's doing with his voice, but it's incredible.
They talked about how like he really got into character for this. Like the day of their first day of shooting with him, like they weren't allowed to talk to him for 7 hours.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. I mean,
in the scene, he's wearing his own jacket.
Really? He's
Just
badass.
his jacket.
Imagine like him coming on set in his own jacket. Like, who would tell him to take that off?
Exactly. Guy can do whatever he wants.
And the gang, Mac, Charlie, and Dennis, they're good kids. He's got something for them. He's going to do something. They're good kids. This is where he starts referring to them as like kids and boys.
Boys. My boys.
Oh, my boys.
So yeah, and so he goes to give them an autograph. He thinks they're just like fans coming up after the show, and he's giving them some autographs.
They kind of like reject him.
They're going, no, you're getting off?
Like,
No, we don't need that.
We don't need
Have you guys ever gotten an autograph like that from somebody?
Have you ever gotten a gift from somebody and you're like, no?
Yeah, me neither, really. I think like Matt Skiba. No, we don't. I didn't get his autograph. We just talked to him in like an alleyway behind the venue. But
you know what? I did the same thing once
with Matt Skiba.
Yeah, and I wasn't with you that time.
That's so strange. Matt Skiba of Alkaline Trio. In case anyone, yeah. This right here has been in my head for 2 days. Him going. Someone, I think it's Charlie, goes, "This is a parking ticket." This is a parking ticket, and he goes, yeah, you bet. Have a good time with it. You bet. Have a good time with it. It's been in my head like for 2 days. Like that is like. Can you think of a funnier response?
Yeah. No, I could not.
You bet.
He kind of like palms it at him too, and he's like, "Yeah, you bet."
Yeah, he like shoves him away with it.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about this is he's giving them an autographed parking ticket, and he's later arrested for parking tickets.
Yes.
Yeah, again, another little seed of like,
guy can't park.
Yeah, and it's just like we cannot understate. Like everyone just heard the clip, but we cannot understate this performance here. It is like right away.
He is so
good. Funny. Yeah, he's like incoherent at points. Like you can't understand what he's saying.
Belligerent.
Yeah, and so yeah, he have fun with the parking ticket, and they're like, no, we want to hire you. And how much is he, going for?
30 weekdays, 50 weekends.
And perfectly funny, like low response, like perfectly funny price.
Is that it?
Is that, yeah, and they're like,
we could do.
Very reasonable. Reasonable. They're like, and that seems low. Seems low.
Yeah.
And yeah, their responses are so funny. Their eyes like go kind of like, huh? Like, yeah.
That's it. Oh, well, we didn't think it would be that easy.
Now.
Yeah, now. I wonder if that's an improvised line.
It could have been. I mean, he's that good.
So then, at a bus depot, Frank and Dee greet.
Before we go, he says, "Now, yeah, Dennis, pay the man." Did you? And he kind of like pulls out. He's like, "Ha ha ha, yeah," and he like does this look over his shoulder, like,
yeah, what is that?
Like
he's just taking out cash and like paying a man. Do you think that's like weird? He's gonna get arrested for that?
Well, yeah. Or does he think like, is anyone else gonna pay for it, or do I have to do it? Or
yeah, there's also that element.
I don't know.
Or just his like,
because he does act very strangely. Like, I hope no one sees me take money out or something.
Right, like he was going to get jumped or something. Or like he thought, but it kind of...
Maybe he doesn't want the Maniac to see it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe.
Like, I don't want this guy to know how much money I have, or he'll ask for more, or take all of it.
Yeah, weird. So at a bus depot, Frank and Dee greet Ben the soldier. And Dee's standing here. Let's talk about Dee's outfit before we actually just get straight into the scene. Let's get this out of the way because this is important. So this is jumping ahead just a little bit, but Dee's screen name was Desert Rose, right? So logically, she's gonna hold a rose, dress like a rose, and play "Kiss from a Rose" by Sil. Perfect three, like a perfect 3 jokes.
Yeah.
And she has these she looks pretty good. She has green tights on. I mean, she looks crazy, but she doesn't look like, you would kind of glance at one, but I wouldn't think like, oh, she's trying to look like a rose. I would just think like, oh.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing. I didn't realize that she was even wearing green tights until I was listening to the commentary.
Really?
Like, I almost didn't even see them.
Yeah, me neither.
And on the commentary, like, Rob said the day of shooting, he was like, you know what? You actually look too good. We have to find something to, like, make you look, like, weirder, you know?
Yeah.
So then they got the green tights and put the
rose on her head.
Like, the thing on her head. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and even still, she has, but and later on, we see Artemis is also wearing green tights. We're going to see Artemis's green tights later on.
Yeah, so it's a swing and a miss.
Yeah. So yeah, she's wearing green tights, a red dress, and like a rose in her hair. She's holding a rose. And Frank comes running up here, and she like wants to ignore him at first. She really doesn't like wanting to deal with him.
Well, because she hasn't even started this relationship, and Frank and the boys already want to ruin this one for her.
Yeah, they can't wait. And Frank's there to use the army guy to promote the wrestling thing. And we get a little shot at the flyer. You could see the flyer in this clip. It's nothing too special to write home about. It's just kind of like a clip of like soldiers putting a flag up and a wrestling guy choking a guy or something.
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
Yeah,
black
but
and white.
It's not like I feel like that might be a missed opportunity. It could be a missed opportunity. You know what I mean? To make put the gang
cool
on it.
Flyer.
Yeah, like Photoshop the gang on it.
Like
or
knowing
something.
them, they would have went to high production.
Yeah, exactly. So she explains the whole thing about how she's Desert Rose, she's holding a rose, she's gonna play "Kiss from a Rose" by Sil, which is like. That song, very funny to pull that song out. And this is where Ben comes out of the bus, and he's in a wheelchair, and he starts being like lowered down on this lift thing.
Yep.
And he's like, "Hey, Desert Rose!" Like recognizes her right away. I mean, he can't miss her.
And we get this like long cut of like him going down.
Yeah, they take their time with it.
I wish they went the whole way. It would have been worth it.
Oh, and his
they
face,
take their time with it. Yeah.
When he's he's like just expectantly like looking her up and down, like really truly excited to see like, hey.
Yeah, Ben and poor Ben. Like, yeah, Ben. And so Ross, you got anything on Ben the Soldier?
Yes, Ben the Soldier is played by Travis Schultz. He was born 1974 from Topeka, Kansas. He was in Scrubs, Community, The Mentalist, Two Broker Girls, Heathers, and Young Sheldon.
Oh, nice. And I did see his
Young Sheldon.
Wow, whatever. I did see his IMDb picture, and he looks nothing like he looks in all.
Yeah, he looks very different.
Yeah. So Ben the Soldier comes up here, and she's like, "Oh, Desert Rose? No, that's not Desert Rose. That's Desert Rose's friend." But Desert Rose, she's a great girl. I love that. No, I'm her friend, but she's a great girl.
Yeah. That is such an awkward. It's for me. It's like it's so hard to say moment of the episode, but this is a brilliant moment. Like Caitlin Olsen's acting, and then Danny just standing there realizing she's lying to this guy. Like
his face changing from like excitedly like to like what is she saying like
and she's so slow about it and kind of making it like an apology, but it's not.
You're not
goodbye.
Yeah. Now, like. If we're going to find out, too, we don't really find out in this episode, but we will find out that maybe Ben doesn't have all the tools in the toolbox. You know what I mean? Like, Ben's not exactly the brightest bulb, we're going to find out.
Well, I mean, let's not kick the guy while he's down.
Sure, I get that, but... Because wouldn't you just be like, you're dressed like a rose. Like he does say that.
That's why
in a way.
It's so funny. She's denying the most improbable thing in the world.
Yeah. You told me your friend came dressed like a rose, holding a rose, to tell me that she can't make it. But he does kind of say that, like, oh, I thought because, the rose, and she's like, she blames him. She says, no, it's okay you thought that. You're not dumb. You know what I mean? Like,
so
what
apologetic
a weird...
at the same time. It's like, you're not dumb.
She she does not react to this well. I mean...
Right. She's
just
running away, too.
Yeah, she just turns and runs. And then... For truly no reason I could think of, I really tried to think of a reason, Frank presses play on the radio. Now, I don't know why he does that.
I don't know either. It really is just like...
I'm not sure what his motivation was exactly in that moment, but he presses play and we get Kiss from a Rose by Sale playing. And this is so funny where he invites him to the wrestling match. Oh, we skipped over this earlier. I'm so stupid. We skipped over this earlier where Frank does show D that the guys chipped in. They all chipped in money to buy these jean shorts.
Jean shorts? You got him jean shorts?
Yeah, the way her reaction is so like, jean shorts? And they all chipped in. They all 4 of them had to pay for one pair of jean shorts.
To buy these for him?
That's not a new pair of jean shorts either. I don't know.
I don't see any tags.
It doesn't look, even the label is kind of like, chipped 50 cents to get him a Goodwill, good, jean shorts.
So they present him the jean shorts. Russ, in the commentary, they say anything about why jean shorts, how random and weird that is?
No, they just kind of laughed at it. But, I thought about it, and I was like, what's the worst thing you can give someone who you believe is in a wheelchair? Something for their legs, right?
Oh, and shorts specifically.
Right. And what's an even weirder version of shorts? Jean shorts. I think that was the A to C on that.
Oh, maybe. That's actually not a bad dissection of what's going on.
Because I was like, why of all the things? We could be random and say they gave him a rum ham. You know what I mean? Why jean shorts in this situation is funnier is it's because it's a benign he had good intent.
Yeah.
And it just felt real short.
So he puts the shorts down here on him, and Frank is acting so incredibly awkward. We have Kiss from a Rose playing in the background, which is an incredibly catchy song. I mean, it's so
good.
Oh, yeah, it's been in my head all week.
Yes, it's so
It
catchy.
gets in my head.
And he does this hilarious salute, just as the baby, just as all that's kicking in. You know what I mean?
Like high energy.
And
this scene is a perfect chef's kiss. This is what this is.
Yes.
And Ben salutes back at him.
Politely. He just doesn't even know am I supposed to do this?
Yeah.
Frank looks so serious. He's so serious about this salute. So then at Patty's, Frank tells Mac, Charlie, and Dennis about his Trashman wrestling persona. So it starts off here with the Maniac on the bar payphone. He's a little unhappy.
Yeah, he's yelling at the collection agency about a copayment, a $15 copayment.
Not a lot of money.
No.
Yeah, he freaks out and he's yelling, and then his voice. It's something about his voice. Him just saying, hey, "I'm gonna go get greased up and rock." We'll come back and we'll rock. He says it
I like that little.
He's
a little touch.
It's so he's gonna get greased up.
Yeah. So the other guys can't get you. You're all greased
up. Is that what
up.
it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't it?
They all look sweaty.
Isn't it fake and choreographed?
Well, not the grease. The grease is real.
That's real.
Now, the wrestling that he is doing, this low level kind of amateur wrestling, is that choreographed and fake, or are they kind of wrestling?
Oh no, those guys they choreograph.
Yeah, it's all
but it's all improv though.
That's what I mean. I think I think maybe the bigger matches like WWE is like fully choreographed, right? Or are they always improvising?
When?
Like in WWE, like the big matches.
Oh, those, like, I'm sure they coordinate the end. I'm sure they, like, 40 minutes in, we got to do this.
Right.
And then for the last 5, we do this, and that's how you know what I mean?
It's interesting.
I bet they hit beats, but, like, you know.
They can kind of do whatever in between.
Right.
Yeah. Huh, interesting.
I have a tangential wrestling theory, if you have time for it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Well, so, I mean, TLDR, it's essentially like adult cartoons, but when you think about, I don't know, like in my wrestling research or whatever, I was kind of like found this like, I don't know, damn near like 4-hour-long YouTube video about like the history of wrestling finish moves or whatever. And some of the first stuff they talk about the, what do they call it? Like the back breaker or something, where they get somebody's head like on their shoulders and like have their legs like curled behind him and then jump up and like slam him and like crunch your spine back. Yeah, it's called like the body breaker or the muscle breaker or something. Anyways, but it came about through this like kind of, I don't know, old school like 80s Dragon Ball Z cartoon that, you know, there was like these wrestling tournaments or whatever, and that was kind of like the thing, you know, and it's like always these wrestlers, but it's like the main character's like finishing move, and it was like, yeah, oh no, he's gonna do the body breaker.
Yeah, I remember the time when all wrestlers would have a signature, just like his hulk-a-mania. Like all wrestlers would have a signature finishing move.
Yeah, I think they all still do. That never left.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah. So, but I say that to say that like a lot of like American wrestlers were like in Japan, you know, either doing like exhibition stuff or like vacationing, and they saw this like cartoon thing, and then like people actually started doing that thing, and it's still a thing that people do. If you think of it's like it looks different now, right. It's like the thing where you get up and instead of slamming down on somebody because you're actually gonna like kill them, but like fly backwards with them and stuff like that.
So they ripped this off an old Dragon Ball Z move. They ripped off a move.
Like, yeah, like an anime, you know, cartoon thing. But if you think about it, it's like, yeah, okay, maybe it's not like real or fake, or, you know, who knows. I think it's like just, you know, in that gray zone enough to be like, yeah, I don't know if it's real, but like, damn it, you know. I know what
you're trying to say. Like, it's not real, but they really are picking up someone and slamming them into the ground. That person's letting them do it, but they are doing it. Yeah. I know what you mean.
They smack each other. They hit each other. I mean,
there's contact.
Like, the definite contact.
Yeah.
There's always like a risk with it, but it's like more, you know, they got the big spring, you know, thing. And anyway, I say all that to say that like it is more performative than anything. You know? Like, it is improv. Sure. It's like,
I don't know. I saw once a guy get hit with a trash can and there was blood everywhere. So I don't know. But yeah, so the top of the scene, he's gonna go get greased up, and he leaves to go get greased up, so he's gonna come back and ready to rock. And they're just kind of like, all right, let's move past it, because they're like upset about him banging their phone and like how that wasn't that much money.
The major part of it.
So they're gonna move past it, and they're gonna start talking about the most important part of their act is the entrance. Of course it is to them.
The most important part of their routine. Their routine.
Their routine, sorry. Their routine, you're right.
Is the entrance. They all agree. I mean, of course, they're all about the pageantry. They like putting on a show.
Yeah.
That was going to be the whole point of it.
Before they can get to it, Frank throws a trash can into the middle of the bar and then comes running in as the trash man. And what I couldn't figure out, I forget the name of, what he's wearing like an Andre the Giant type of, what is that called?
I don't know. I called it a leotard earlier, but I have no idea if that's what
But it's got the one strap.
It's like a spandex one strap, shoulder strap thing. It's all black.
Yeah, it's Andre the Giant, right? That's it's basically that.
Yeah.
And so he tells them he wants to wrestle. His gimmick is he's the trash man. This sounds horrible. He throws trash all over the ring, which is like, okay. Throws trash all over the ring, and then he, for no reason, also eats the trash. I mean, I don't think that has to be part of it.
Well, I think that's a signature move.
A trash man out there eating the trash?
I have no idea what that part is. I think he just wants to eat trash.
Yeah. And he's talking about smashing the trash can on people and stuff, but this is where he says that like you said, it's fake, no one's gonna get hurt. So I can do whatever I want is basically what he's saying.
Right.
Like, I'd do anything. It's fake, right? Yeah. And Charlie's like, you know what? Why don't you be the ref? I got a role for you, the referee.
Yeah, he tries to push him off into a different role.
Yeah. But he's a villain. Can't you see he's a villain?
I mean, you got to have villains.
I love that he wants to be a
Frank's
villain,
right.
first of all.
I would love to be a wrestling villain.
A heel?
Big time.
It's interesting that he wants to be a villain. His idea is being a villain, but he actually is the hero by the end of the episode.
Yeah, it's funny. That prophecy doesn't come true.
But doesn't that happen in wrestling all the time? Where there's a heel and then he'll become a good. Wasn't The Rock a bad guy at first and stuff?
Oh yeah. That's what they call it, like turning heel. Like, 'cause you can be good and then turn bad, and vice versa. Depends on what's going on.
And he starts eating the trash can. This is so funny. He starts eating the trash can and he starts choking on it. And this is like the gang's reaction of like, you choking? You choking on it? And then he starts like spitting it out. And they're like, no, go in the bathroom.
Yeah. No one wants to see a 60-year-old man eating trash.
Yeah, that's what they want. That's what people want to see.
He like tries to defend it.
I love his little like dragging the trash can with him back to the bathroom. He does like a little dragging the trash can. So then after Frank leaves, Mac and Charlie present their idea for the Birds of War entrance song. So they go, okay, let's get back to what we were talking about. And the announcer's going to announce their name, their new name.
New name, Birds of War.
Oh, I love that name.
I love that new name. Like Dennis's reaction is incredible. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, he's like so dreamy about it.
Yeah, he's like, oh, like you can't, he can't handle it. Like, oh, I wonder who came up with it. And so they're gonna do like a screech, like a ar ar ar, and then Mac does like a really bad screech thing.
Yeah.
And this is another thing that's been in my head all day too. Like, this is so funny. Like, we're gonna come out, we're gonna have the crowd stomp, clap, stomp, clap, stomp, clap, stomp, stomp, clap. Like, it's so funny, like how they do that. Oh my goodness! And they're gonna make up some song. They're gonna add lyrics later. It's gonna be a song, about how they soar through the sky. They have a nest. They protect their eggs. They regurgitate their food.
Food their young.
Obviously, this confuses Dennis.
Yeah,
because that just sounds like they're singing about the lifestyle of an eagle. The lifestyle of an eagle.
That's a perfect line.
That's incredible.
It really is. The lifestyle.
Perfect, like, use of language.
You could have said life of an eagle.
Yeah.
But you said lifestyle, which like. So
this is one thing they missed out on as far as like eagle attributes, but they could have talked about how they like dive bomb and have sex at the same time.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I don't know what species, but there's some eagles they like intertwine like what, and then they like literally dive bomb for the earth, and they have to like get it done by the time they like so they can swoop out.
That is crazy.
I have more in common with eagles than I thought. Apparently,
that's like autoerotic asphyxiation.
Oh gosh,
gotta get it done before it's over.
Terminal velocity 68. I don't know.
No, that's good. That's
Can't
good. That's
get there.
good. No, that's good. That's good. I see what you're doing. That was good. So like, because that would be funny if they started talking about the sex life of an eagle. That would have sent Dennis over the edge. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Dennis could have lost it. And because the Dennis is this is just the lifestyle of an eagle. The lifestyle of an eagle. I still like.
It's perfect.
The lifestyle of an eagle, and because he was under the impression that they were bird men, which is infinitely more cooler than just being a bird. And Mac and Charlie, even Mac, are kind of like confused. Like, wait, I just want to be a bird. It doesn't seem like that.
Mm-hmm. And they kind of like quickly like just agree we're gonna meet in the middle.
And what we find out what the middle is incredible. When we find out what the middle actually
I
is.
like that we only get this like problem teased out. And then, like we see the effects. It's like it's such a higher payoff to not see the middle part.
Did not see them writing the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So then at a restaurant, Artemis, who is pretending to be D, meets Ben until D goes back on the plan. So she's meeting up here with Artemis at a restaurant. She told Artemis to wear red because it's supposed to be like a rose. She wore purple. And this line of like, you're supposed to be Desert Rose. Whatever, I'll be Desert Grape. Like, that is just so
Sorry.
Desert Grape. Great trivia team name. And so
yeah,
and you
because it's like she had the intentions of dressing up as the Rose, but just like gave up on her own. She was like, "No, I just got a personal policy, no red." So I just moved past it.
She did wear the
But,
green
like,
tights.
Yeah, so she did try to fulfill like the Rose thing.
And she's here, you know, no problem. She enjoys dating disabled guys. She enjoys the power trip.
You know what? It really does make so much like that's such a great like added detail of why.
And it fits
it's
Artemis.
like a yes and like no
yeah,
other.
it fits Artemis's personality like a glove. Like that statement, like just absolutely fits Artemis.
Yes.
And that delivery, she's just like, I like the power. Like it's kind of like the throwaway.
Yeah, soft and like gone.
Artemis, like, she comes in and just destroys any scene she takes the like she kills everything. Like she comes in and she's so funny so fast and then she's gone.
Dude, all of our returning guests this episode are really good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And so she's here now and she's Desert Grape and D gives her a rose. That's fine. Puts a rose between her shirt
Cleavage.
there, her breasts, kind of sticks it like down her shirt.
Yeah.
She's sweaty. It's humid out. That seems improvised. I don't know what about the way she's like.
You know what? It's so
humid.
funny you say that because Caitlin Olsen in the commentary said it was extremely humid that day.
Oh, really? So it actually
Yeah.
was humid. Oh, that's also when she's like, "Oh, you're sweaty." Like all that seems improvised.
Yeah,
for
it
some
does.
reason. Yeah. And so she points out Ben the soldier, and hey, Mama like. I love Mama
like. Send you any dick pics? Could be a
Yeah,
mess
she
down
wants.
there.
She wants to know about the dick pic. She's worried it's going to be a mess.
For the love of God, don't ask him about his dick.
And this like response of like, whatever, I'm going to find out soon anyways. Like,
Yeah.
it's so funny. Like,
It's soon enough. It's so
gonna
like
find out
I'll
soon
get what
enough,
I
like-
want anyway. Like
yeah, like nothing is stopping me here. Yeah. And so she goes over to Ben the soldier, and Ben stands up. And he's quite tall, and we see that that shocks D. And he starts Artemis just starts kissing him, and she says it feels so good to finally hold you and stuff. Like she's pretending to be Desert
she's
Rose.
really falling into the role
She's biting his lip.
aggressively though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't think I'd care for that one.
And then so when D comes running up here, this is such a funny little detail that happens really fast. Where D comes running up, oh hey, he's like, oh you're her friend. You guys are friends, aren't you? And D says yeah, and Artemis says
Not
not
really."
really.
But like D walking over there like it's a coincidence that they're bumping in together. Like
Yeah, something's going on.
yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, could you write it better? Ben thanks her for the shorts, and he's wearing the jean shorts.
They fit perfect.
I mean, could you he's into the shorts? Like it's perfect.
It's funny
It's
because
all he ever wears.
yeah,
Yeah.
now we only see him wearing those, which is
Yeah, from
such a great
they really,
payoff.
they really established something. Like going forward, he only wears those jean shorts. It's very strange.
Hey, it's funny when he wears them. Make him wear them every time.
It's just funny that it's like the throwaway kind of gift, like, oh, we've chipped in for these jean shorts, and everybody's like, why the hell? And he's like, hell yeah, you got it, you nailed it, perfect gift. Yeah.
Yeah, like he was happy to have them. So yeah, good. It's good.
I was letting it play through some of the other seasons while I was doing other stuff last night, and I don't know what even episode. No, D gives birth, I think.
Okay, sure.
And
who's the father?
It's like, baby, you gotta take those jean shorts off sometimes. So they're literally commentating on the.
You gotta take them off every once in a while.
Yeah, Duncan's friend. Oh yeah. He used to have jean shorts like that. He blew the crotch out.
That's right.
You gotta take them off sometimes, baby.
That's so funny. I wonder if I wonder what Ben's wardrobe. Do we only see him on days he's wearing the jean shorts, or does he just always?
I know that's an interesting question.
No, it's just like Doug. He just puts his closet full of the exact same thing.
So she's confused about why he's standing up here, but apparently he twisted his leg in Germany, and he was just trying to stay off of it.
Thing about you in a wheelchair, and you were in it, like
yeah, no tact. And he just twisted his ankle. He's fine. It works. His leg's working fine now. This is where she pulls Artemis aside and is like, no, like let's whatever, like plans off, but no take backsies.
I'm warning you, Eric. I will bring out the big guns.
Take your best shot, you stupid bitch. Now, that is incredible.
That's been in my head all week.
Yeah, it made me laugh and laugh. Like, it just, every single time made me, like, my stomach hurt laugh. I would cry if Artemis said that to me. She says it in such, like a forceful way. Where, like, I would cry.
Very mean.
It elevates from this, like, give me your best shot, you stupid bitch.
Yeah, like, in the one sentence.
Right.
What a range.
She put the draw she puts on, bitch. Just like.
And I mean, if someone was like, sum up Artemis, that's the scene. You play that right there. That is Artemis.
Yeah.
Like, she's afraid of nothing. She's
wants
like doesn't care about anything. Like, oh yeah, it's so.
She likes to feel like a Cobb salad.
That's right. Oh man, it's so funny. So then, out in front of Patty's, the Maniac freaks out Charlie and Mac and Dennis.
Looking around, I was thinking. I brought some.
You just
just props I was bringing.
That's not a prop though. That's sharp razor wire.
Mr. Maniac, we were thinking maybe we could go a little bit more traditional with it, just figure 4 leg locks, pile drivers,
off the top rough suplex.
No, people, that old school bullshit, that don't play no more,
Really?
Yeah, it's gotta be gruesome, Those people, they like blood, and
I guess.
Well, guys like you know what? I love you guys, man. You remind me of my kids.
Oh, you got kids, Maniac?
Nah, not anymore.
What does that mean?
Okay, all right.
We got a problem. I don't know what is he talking about with his kids?
Did he kill his kids?
He just drifted away.
And look at this. I feel like he's living out of his car, right? I mean, he's got blankets in there. What is that, a pile of laundry?
Look at this, dude. That's just a bucket of chestnuts. What? Is he foraging for his food?
Clearly.
I don't know. Why the hell would you have a bucket of chestnuts, bro?
We are dealing with a legitimate maniac now.
Yeah.
That is clear to me, okay? His mania is not confined to the ring.
You know, he kept calling you the N-word earlier?
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring that up. I don't want to freak him out.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. He was calling me the N-word? Yes, every time you turn your back,
He's
bro.
like, you stupid hen, go get me grease.
And this and that. Why?
I don't know.
Why?
He has
I don't
a problem
know.
with black people, and
Or does he have a problem with me? I don't understand.
Both, I think.
Know.
Both.
I don't know.
Oh, my God. Okay, let's get rid of him. Let's get rid of him. That's it. How do you get rid of a guy like that?
I don't want to be anywhere in the ring with that guy. You know what? What if we're just hype men? We don't even go in the ring.
Yes, we let him do the wrestling. We do not wrestle. No. All right, well, we got to find someone for him to wrestle, though.
Right. Okay. Someone with, like, nothing to lose, right?
Yeah. So it starts out here with the Maniac pulling some wire out of
the barbed wire. He's pulling that, like a spool of it out of
Ross, that's a prop.
Well, no, it's very real, as Charlie learns.
He calls it a prop. Oh, it's a prop.
Well, props are real.
It's a very sharp roll of razor wire.
And this is like...
sorry, it's a little learning moment. Like, they're starting to sense that wrestling is real. It's like turning now.
Yes, because they're looking to do something a little more traditional. Figure fours.
Figure 4 leg locks. Yeah. We get some suplexes, drop kicks off the top rope.
Yeah, like the way he cuts him off with that. No, like and that old school shit that doesn't play anymore. You know, people they want to see blood. It's gotta be gruesome.
Yeah.
The word gruesome.
I know. Again, that word gruesome.
It's a perfect word. There's the gruesome twosome, and then there's also the when Frank says
gruesome repairs.
When you got to get gruesome repairs, who do you go to? From Frank's Little Beauties, gruesome. So he's like, it's gonna be gruesome, and this is where the Maniac just sort of like goes like, oh, you guys, I love you guys. Now he loves them.
I love you guys.
He reminds the Maniac of his kids.
Oh, you have kids, Maniac?
And this like. This Roddy Piper acting like is so good.
Yeah.
Nah, not anymore. And he walks away.
Like, what do you mean not anymore?
And even the way Dennis is like, oh, you got kids, Maniac? Like, even the way he says, like Maniac.
And again, I think it's just like shining the light on like the dark lives of like older wrestlers.
Yes, and I think this is like taking a shot at the wrestler.
Yeah.
The movie, The Wrestler, too.
I love like Charlie's acting in that scene where he gets hit with the razor wire like in his dick essentially, and he's just like and you see him kind of spinning around and like you see him spit stuff like
he's like cinching to look over,
yeah.
And when he's like, you got kids, he kind of like looks over at him or something, and then that exchange from like I think that was where Charlie is like, I kind of hit my limit with it because you see him like. And then he's like, what the fuck does that mean?
He got a taste, and he was like, no.
Yeah, because when the Maniac walks away after that, they lose it. Now, from them losing it right here on, makes me double over laughing every single time. Like, everything that's happening, the boom, 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 like, all through this is so funny.
It's the escalation of it is so cool.
So he walks off, and they're like, what does he mean by that? Did he kill his kids? Like, what do you mean? They're freaking out now about the not anymore comment about his kids. And apparently he looks like he's living out of his car, some laundry, and then Charlie pulls out a bucket of chestnuts.
Is he foraging for his food?
It's so funny. Now, it's strange, though, because it seems like Charlie would think that's cool, doesn't it? Doesn't Charlie get, like, alleyway nuts
anything you could, like, forage
from,
for, I think Charlie would be into as well.
Crow eggs and...
Yeah, maybe after getting hit with the razor wire, he's just freaking out, but it doesn't seem like something Charlie would like, is the chestnuts.
I feel like Charlie would pull out some kind of like, there's not a chestnut tree for 20 miles here. Where's he getting these?
Yeah, exactly. I've tried or something.
Yeah.
And then the line right here with Dennis, too. This is like a key little, it gets buried, I think, with everything that's happening, but this guy is a legit maniac. He's a legitimate maniac. His mania is not just confined to the ring. That phrasing...
That's my line of the episode.
Is mania. It's not just confined. It's just like...
His mania.
And we kind of glossed over this a little bit, but his name is Da Maniac. D-A''Maniac. That's how he's credited. He's Da Maniac, not The Maniac. So, and then this thing right here, this was making me laugh so much with it. Like, he was calling you an N-word.
Me? What?
Yeah. And like, I love the, like, yeah, I love the me?
Why does he have a problem with me?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he's like saying, hey, get the grease. Get the grease end like that. Get the grease end. And then Mac being like, "What? Does he have a problem with black people? Is he a problem with me?" He's like, both. I think both.
I think both.
And they're all freaking out. And like, this was making me laugh so much. Like the heightening of
like the sudden, oh my god, this is beyond what we can handle.
The fact that two of them knew that was happening and one of them didn't.
Yeah, they didn't tell him. Like,
I didn't want
all
to freak
day.
you out. Yeah.
I don't want to freak him out.
Didn't want to freak you
I
out.
love the way he
But
goes, me.
But I also then just sit there and picture like, go get the grease in, like you know, like a bit the actual.
Almost like mumbling to himself or something. Like,
yeah.
Oh my, it's so fun. Like the just Mac's reaction of the me is so perfect. Like, why me? And they're like,
that was made up on the day. On the
really?
spot, yeah. They were like, we need
Unbelievable.
something else, and they're like, they
Yeah.
just did that.
That's so perfect. It does have a
unbelievable.
playful vibe,
Yeah.
like a improv vibe.
Deprived.
Improv. So and then so this is where they're like, you know what? We can't wrestle this guy. He's out. Like we can't
he's
do this.
out of the league. There's something they can't handle.
So they're gonna get somebody else to wrestle. Somebody with nothing left to lose. So then we cut to Mac, Charlie, and Dennis finding Rickety Cricket and enlisting him for the wrestling match. Yeah, they do the they do that thing when they come walking up to him.
No.
No, yeah.
No.
It's weird. Like, Will, I'm sure you've because when you watch the whole season, and even when you get later on, it's so weird to go back and see Cricket not like a monster.
Yeah, not totally mutilated.
Right.
This is where it starts, though. The neck.
Yeah. I mean, he's actually looked worse before, and I think like him being at this facility, he looks like kind of cleaned up.
Yeah, he looks a little better. Yeah, he looks a little. When was the last time we saw Cricket?
I mean, if it was like the gang dances their asses off, he looked like hell. But
Oh,
have
that's
we
right.
seen
It
him
was
since?
it might have been the gang dances their asses off. That might have been the last time. Yeah.
And he was terrible looking.
We had the exoskeleton.
Yeah.
He had the exoskeleton.
He had the broken
yeah.
back or whatnot, but I guess he got all healed up from that. I mean, physically though, like his back was bad, but he's only missing a tooth really, and like he's like, no,
Yeah.
Cause I saw, I was like, damn, Cricket, like. Besides being like, I mean, he's got some like malaise sort of going,
right?
But, he looks like he's on the up and up. At least he's like outside of the salvation or whatever, or the what is it?
I'm not sure. He's also
some kind of recovery center or something. It said on the sign.
Exactly.
Yeah, it looks like a recovery center.
And they come up to him here, and he says no. He doesn't want to do any wrestling things. He's not going to do the little games, the little schemes. But it's for the troops.
I don't give a shit about the troops.
That made me laugh every single time too.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
why they think that would get Cricket? It's just like, I don't give a shit about the troops. This is such a like.
There's pay involved. We're gonna pay you. You give a shit about that, Cricket?
Oh, am I gonna get my
But what
ass
is it?
kicked?
He's just.
Oh,
Yeah, what is
sorry.
it? He's just gonna get his ass kicked? No. Yeah, what is he gonna get his
It's
ass kicked?
wrestling. It's fake. It's relatively fake. What happens in the ring is really up to you, Cricket.
Now they told him what to do here. What happens in the ring is up to him.
Yes.
So that's why he
They
starts
gave him
kicking their
license.
asses.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave him license to do whatever. Yeah, definitely.
Like, did he come up with this whole? I mean, later we'll see him as the Taliban, but like, did he come up with this? Like,
I don't know. Did they do this for him? What
did
came
they
first?
already write a script and like someone else had to like fill in that part?
I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting. Who was well, they must have did it after they hired Cricket, because originally it was going to be them fighting the Maniac.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It makes more sense in the type of show they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
It would make
No,
more
I agree.
sense for that fight than the Maniac versus the Birds of War.
Oh, of course. Why would they fight like countrymen? Why not the world villain? You know.
Yeah, the heel. Yeah, exactly. So then, backstage at the venue, Mac, Dennis, and Charlie are unhappy with their costumes, and Dee comes in to tell them that she is singing the Star Spangled Banner. So let's talk about them here. We see them here in their costumes, their bird outfits.
Yep. They got their they're like wearing like feather boa, like it goes like from hand to hand, like across the back.
Yeah.
And then they got their like dumb like eagle hats with the strap that goes under the jaw.
Now, And they also have like abs painted on them.
Yes. It looks
Which
like
is a
someone
great little
drew
detail.
with lipstick, like abs on.
And they're wearing camo shorts and construction boots.
Yep, Timberlands.
And who made this? Who made this? These
Yeah,
suits,
who
you think?
made their outfits? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe Charlie. He's good with the sewing machine.
that's true. That's true.
If sewing
But
needed to be involved.
it didn't really come out the way they were pitching it. They look more like chickens.
Yeah, getting more of a chicken vibe.
Yeah, and this is where Desert Rose comes in. She's dressed again like a rose.
What a matchup though. We have someone that's already dressed terrible, outmatched by these three guys. Like,
Yeah. And her reaction when she comes in here is so funny. Like, what is this? And when Dennis says we're birdmen, she's like, birdmen! Like, the way she's like, oh, okay, birdmen.
oh, that's what you're doing. That's adorable.
So she wants to sing the Star Spangled Banner. They're like, yeah, whatever, just get out of here. And Charlie does this like motion to wait, like to shoo her out.
Mm-hmm.
But they like that motion.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Well, maybe then we should go with the chicken thing.
No, not the chicken thing.
But they all start doing it. I like it. Like they're all living
Yeah.
in the scene. They're all like, "Oh, we're all doing it now."
Yeah. It just occurred to them now to flap their wings.
I know. I mean, they're birdmen.
They're birdmen.
They got to think with their bird brain.
Frank comes running in here. Frank is the referee. He's got the referee outfit on. He comes running in here. The problem with the Maniac. A problem with the Maniac.
Huge problem with the Maniac.
So then outside the venue, the Maniac is being arrested. So Mac, Dennis, and Charlie decide to wrestle cricket themselves. So apparently he's being arrested for unpaid parking tickets. You get arrested for that?
He must have had a lot. But I
I
think
mean-
like, after a certain amount, don't you just get the boot? Or
Yeah.
they like stop giving you tickets, they just give you a boot? I don't know how
Yeah, I mean,
ticketing works.
I've had a couple $100 in tickets before, but they were
Did you get the
spread
boot?
out between a couple different cities. You know how Boston is so close: Cambridge, Brookline, Allston.
Yeah.
You know, I had one like in every city, so I think
Man.
they got I think they have to pile up in one city enough to make it do that to you. And yeah, I think they would just like boot your car, or they do something to your car. I don't tow your car, like not you. I don't think they would arrest you.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think they'd arrest.
Right. Unless they were going to
Seems a
tow it
little
and you maybe
extreme.
got out or wouldn't get out or something. Maybe.
Mhm.
But
I
it
don't
is,
know.
but it is a nice little callback to him
Like
signing
having
an
the
autograph from the
parking
parking
ticket, yeah.
ticket. Yeah. And this is where the Maniac gets oddly sentimental.
Yeah. My boys.
My
Wait,
boys,
you
like-
know what? The Maniac loves you.
I love that he talks about himself in the third
Even
person.
with your feathers, I love you.
Even with your
Love
feathers.
you, Maniac. I don't love him.
I don't love him.
do not love him.
I do not love that man. I love that. The Maniac yells, "I love you," and the rest of them are like, Charlie is someone like, "I love you," and then they're like, "I don't love him." Like just
Yeah.
the way they're just like,
I don't
I'm
know.
scared of him.
Yeah, they don't like him at all.
I love the Maniac calling them my boys.
My boys.
It's so funny about that, my boys. And they're like, okay, fine, we lost him, and Frank's like, okay, let's bring the Trash Man out of retirement. Let's get the Trash Man in here. They need a wrestler.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It's a great idea, but they shut that down, and they're like, no, you know what? It's just cricket. Why don't we'll just wrestle him,
Yeah.
right? That makes
Seems
sense.
pretty logical. I mean, it's only 3 of them and 1 of cricket.
All right, Pigeon Boys, let's do it.
No.
No. Okay, chicken then? Chicken boy? Like, no, we're not doing that either.
Oh, yeah,
Charlie
yeah,
still
the
can't.
escalation of pigeon to chicken to back to eagles.
Back to Eagle. So then we cut to the start of the match as we are introduced to the Taliban and the Birds of War.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Introducing America's most hated terrorist, the Taliban. Terrorist rule! Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to take flight with the Birds of
not responding to the pageantry
The
at
whole
all.
second verse is completely
The
ridiculous.
second verse is necessary to clarify what we
We're
are.
mic'd, Matt. We're mic'd. We're not. Our microphones are on.
Are they hearing this?
Do the routine.
Go.
So we start off this scene here with the introduction of the most hated terrorist. The most hated terrorist is such a funny term to me. The most hated terrorist, the Taliban.
Mm-hmm.
That is like that pun is crazy.
That's so good.
And it sounds like something wrestling would do. It just sounds like it sounds like an actual villain of something.
It's like a hacky villain. Like, I mean, they did this like years ago with like in the '90s with like Iron Sheik.
Exactly.
Like, remember Iron Sheik? Yeah.
Cricket comes out. He's dressed like. I mean, this is obviously offensive. I mean, what he's doing.
There's no easy way to be like.
There's no way
to
like
a terrorist.
Yeah, and he's like doing the voice
these days.
And he says, this is making me laugh too, because he says, "America sucks, terrorists rule," which is such a like just nothing statement. America sucks, terrorists rule, and then everyone's booing him like they're supposed to. He's the heel, and he's working
really
the crowd.
good villain. He's working the crowd, like you just said. Like he's like pandemonium. He's like la, la, la. He's like taunting the crowd. He's giving them what they want, like a fight.
He's doing exactly what you're supposed to do in that role.
Yes.
Yeah, they're into his pageantry. I mean,
they are. You know what? You're right. They are into his pageantry.
Well, they're
responding to
him.
Yeah. That is so funny you say that, and then there's just nothing on the other side. That is true.
I know,
yeah.
it's almost like he's the hero of the story.
So then we get introduced here to the Birds of War, and we see our heroes come out, and they have these headsets on, these like microphone headsets. So they
yeah,
can talk
like
to the...
you've seen like Madonna and Britney Spears wear them like,
and their
think
energy.
of that. It's a Britney Spears headset.
it?
I do not know why. Like in my brain, it's just that's what it's called. That's what it's filed.
the Britney Spears headset.
Yeah.
And their energy when they come out here is as if they are in an arena with thousands of cheering fans. Like their energy does not match anything around them. And they want the crowd to get involved. They're like, "What's up? What's up, troops? Like, everybody drop a beat, stomp, clap." Stomp, clap, stomp, stomp, clap. They want the crowd to do that. The crowd does not.
I know. Wouldn't that kill you though if you were doing that? Like, I'd be like, we gotta go.
I would stop.
We already lost.
And so then they start singing their song. Russ, what are the lyrics to that first verse?
The eagles are out. It flies through the night. Don't mess with its heads now. Or you'll see a flight.
You know what?
Or you'll see a fight.
What you're reading is from...
Is wrong.
I noticed that on my subtitles, too, that it says, they say eggs. Don't mess with its eggs now. It doesn't say head.
Oh, I was thinking it's like even weirder if they said head.
You know, it said that on the subtitles,
think
too.
About that.
I wonder where that comes from.
Head. Like, that's like crazy.
I know. I wonder where, and they talk about earlier how they're going to talk about
they
how
protect
the eggs.
They
protect their eggs.
Like, nurture the young.
Yeah. So the first verse starts off with the eagles born out of thunder. Then they do this thing. It's very similar to Dayman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How's that feel?
And then he says he flies through the night. Don't mess with his eggs now.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll see us fight, is what they're saying. It's weird because they're like talking about an eagle in the third person. Talking about like some other eagle.
Yeah.
But it's also them or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first verse. So that is what Charlie wanted. Like that is Charlie and Mac's original idea. It's kind of like talking about the lifestyle of an eagle. Yeah. And so the second verse starts, and now this is Dennis's input, and this is where it gets so fucking funny to me. This is when Dennis comes in because the first thing he says is "yes, comma we have feathers," as if like
we know
you're thinking that you're thinking why do they have yes we have feathers, like he says yes we have feathers.
The rhetorical unasked questions.
Do they have
like I can look at them and figure out they're Birdman. I don't need this explanation.
He needs it to be too apparent.
So starts off with yes we have feathers. but the muscles of men. And they do this like roll with their
Yeah,
stomach.
like a body roll.
Yeah, like the muscles of
like
men.
It's choreographed.
I can't do that. I don't know.
No, I don't know how they do that.
And then they say, because we're the birds of war now, but we're also men. Because we're the birds of war now. Well, then Dennis is like, but we got to say one more time that we're men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he get one
I need
more
people
time.
to know that we're not just birds.
These costumes are too good. They are gonna know. They are gonna think that we are birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they exclaim to the birds of war, and we get a nice like caw, 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 caw.
Perfect echo.
To
I loved
complete silence. I mean, to complete and utter silence. Like nobody in this place is even talking to each other.
Yeah,
it's
eerie.
just silence.
Oh man,
It's crazy. So yeah, I love that. I love that song because it is the meeting in the middle. The first verse is the lifestyle of the eagle, and the second verse is making it very clear that they are men. Like, oh man,
I wish the song was
just
longer.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, but it's interesting that the subtitles are off a little bit. Like it says, "Don't mess with our heads."
Yeah,
now, but they are definitely saying eggs.
It
would
makes
make
way more sense for it to be eggs. You're right.
Yeah, the joke has to be eggs. He said earlier we sing about protecting our eggs. Yeah.
I think it would have been funny just as like a long ass scene, just like them going back and forth, like a Charlie and Mac verse and like a Dennis verse, like back and forth, having to like re-up the stakes.
Yeah, exactly. And the beginning of the song too, the Eagles born out of thunder. Like that's like not really the lifestyle of an eagle. That's kind of fictional. But
well, clearly you don't know much about the mating rituals of eagles, as previously demonstrated.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
I don't know enough about eagles to disprove that.
You know what? There's probably not enough science to back that. So yeah, you're right.
No, it's not even science. It's a fact.
Science is a bitch sometimes.
And they start they start like arguing with each other here about the song, and Dennis is like, no, the second verse was necessary. And they realize, oh, the mic is on, and they're like talking to like everyone can hear them argue. So then before the match starts, Dee comes out to make a special announcement to Ben before Cricket interrupts her by hitting her with a chair. So they get into the ring here. They're doing just like random, like, caw, caw, like random shit. Like Mac is like jumping over Charlie. It's so
Oh yeah, he's
random.
just like laying down and he's just like hopping over him, like in a weird way. It's like they're not doing anything really.
And then Desert Rose comes out to the middle of the ring, and Star Spangled Banner starts playing. But no, that's not the right song. Flip it. Flip the tape. It's the wrong side.
The best part is like everybody's already standing and like pledging allegiance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah,
they're, like, saluting the flag. Like, no, stop it. Turn it over. You're gonna ruin everybody's like moment there, I guess.
Yeah, they're supposed to be there for the troops and stuff, not like
right
whatever Dee's doing.
But you notice Dee lied about singing the national anthem earlier?
Yeah, why didn't she just tell them what she was going to do? Because they don't care, I don't think, one way or another.
No, that's the truth. But she thinks she had to lie to them.
Yeah. So Dee comes out, they flip the table, it's Kiss 'em a Rose, and she wants to make an announcement to a special soldier of fortune. Luigi says soldier
what is with that?
of fortune. I don't know, it's weird. Of fortune. And this thing about she's the real Desert Rose, this strange woman you've been hanging out with is an imposter. This strange woman. It's really funny to call artists a strange woman. And this is very like, don't you find this to be very like a wrestling, like this is like a dramatic moment, this is like you know, this is like a soap opera or something. You know what I mean?
Big time.
You know, it's in the wheelhouse of wrestling's pageantry to have something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so she comes
is sometimes
out
referred to as like the soap opera for men. Like
it's
how it's,
sure
like, referred to.
Yeah, and this is very like very dramatic. Like it's an imposter. She's like building up to this moment. She's gonna sing.
This is gonna be a huge reveal for everybody.
As if everyone's been following their exploits. Like everyone knows who they are. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that strange woman, she's an imposter, and just this is such perfect
Great
comedic timing. Just as baby, the song kicks in of like Kiss My Rose, she gets slapped with a chair. Just
oh my god, like rocked,
hammered, as they would say.
Hammered, as they say in Philadelphia.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, Artemis yells. Yeah, like, Artemis
with the shadow there, like that was such great. Like living in the like we hear Artemis from like across the room, and like this action's taking place here, and it's because Cricket's still jealous of D, like still like spitting.
Yeah. It's just perfect timing. Everything about D's like manipulation, changing the music, calling Artemis a strange woman. Like it's all it's so perfect. So then the match starts, and we see the Taliban quickly defeat the Birds of War. Dennis comes in first. They're like, "Oh, it's starting! Oh, gets in first." Now he says to Cricket, "I'm going to be a little rough with you." You know what I mean? So I'm going to be a little rough here. This idea of Cricket with the sand is
perfect.
Oh man!
Like
blows
he's
sand in his eyes.
Full-fledged character.
Yeah, he's a full-fledged character. He's more like he has
he's
his
more put
character
together
thought out
than,
more than the Birds of War.
Yeah. And they spent like days doing that.
Yeah. Dennis gets hit with the sand. That takes him out. That he's done. That takes him out.
I
so
should say, there was an old wrestling manager that used to throw salt in people's eyes.
Really?
That was like a
Gil the
common
Snail
thing.
style.
So like this was ripped from something. Like Master Fuji would throw salt.
Again, it's very wrestling.
Yes.
They have gimmicks. They have things they do. Like it's like
little cheats and tricks and like ways around the system. He's a bad guy. He should fight dirty. Like
exactly. He's the heel. He's
villain,
gonna fight
remember?
dirty. And I love the Frank. Is that even legal? Frank.
I didn't see nothing.
And they do that too.
I know. I love that. But it's Frank also allowing them to continue to get hurt and learn that wrestling is real.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's not real, so what are they complaining about?
Yeah.
But before, kind of backtrack a little bit, this face, like when the match is starting off, it cuts to Frank for like a split second. I think it's before Dee does her song. And he's kind of making this like, I don't know, kind of bored sort of face that I just picked up on that, thought like, because he, obviously does what he's about to do, but just, I don't know, more of the inner workings and kind of like some of the background stuff with him was interesting to me after, viewing it. Yeah,
he lives in the scene, definitely.
Yeah.
He's like notoriously like a great actor. Like, even earlier when like Dee was talking to Ben, being like, "I'm not the Desert Rose," and like he is like,
he's doing stuff in the
looking
back.
around,
Yeah.
Try not to make it obvious, but he still can't deal with what he's hearing himself.
Right.
And in this last scene, there is a case to be made that he's letting them all get hurt so that he can come in as the trash man. I mean,
yeah.
So the ref didn't see anything. So Charlie's like, okay, Charlie's gonna go in. Boom! Charlie gets sand thrown in his eyes immediately. First thing that happens.
He comes in with a determination. He's like, you know what, Cricket? He's gonna fix him. And he really gets it. Stop throwing sand.
And he turns to Mac, and Mac has a very logical leap here where he says, I feel like if I go in there, you're just going to throw sand in my eyes. So I'm going to run away.
This is like a
And of
trope,
course,
though.
Mac. What is it?
This is like kind of like a trope, too. Of like, I saw what happened, I'm running away. Like,
oh, really?
That happens in wrestling, but also in like other shit, too, that I'm thinking about.
And of course, Mac, the biggest shit talker, like he's the one that runs away. Every time. And this is where the Taliban starts, gloating. Again, he says, America sucks, terrorists rule.
Great catchphrase.
After Mac runs away, the trash man makes a surprise entrance and takes out the Taliban with a trash can. This is a great stunt. I mean, they show this.
Yeah.
You see it. I mean, it's a great
open.
shot.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah, the trash can comes out of nowhere, slams in the cricket. I mean, the framing of the pit, it's right on him as it hits him. Like, you see it.
Like, this reminds me of Frank's entrance earlier in the episode when it was so abrupt.
He
it's, like,
just
funny
throws
we
the
get to
trash can.
see it again, just, like, unfurl. Like, what was everybody else seeing? Like, this guy, like, running across the room.
Right. It's also the third beat on the trash can in general, because you've got him mentioning the one and then throwing the one as they say
Chekhov's
entrance.
trash can.
Chekhov's trash can.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shit, did I get you?
Yeah, did I get you? And he's saying, you got me.
Must have had an edge.
And he's got this wound in his neck that's disgusting.
Like eating, by the way. He's like eating in this.
He's eating trash.
That's what he does. He spreads trash all over the ring and he eats it.
His nonchalance, though, just like, oh, shit, did I get you?
Yeah, he's not too concerned.
And, yeah, he's got this nasty wound, great makeup, great special effects. And Frank looks around at the chaos, at the damage. He looks around at, like...
Yeah, everybody is, like, hurt to some degree. We have Dee that got hit by a chair. We have
Her nose is
Charlie
broken.
and Dennis who have sand in their eyes. And we have a newly laid cricket who's bleeding out to death.
Yeah. He looks around, raises his hands, and the crowd goes nuts.
Wild. Like, but that's what they wanted. They wanted to see someone beat up the villain. Like,
and also the Maniac. He said it. People want to see blood. They want it's got to be gruesome, and that is what happens.
He
It's
does.
got to have blood. It's got to be gruesome. Yeah,
gotta be gruesome.
And Frank knew this shit wasn't fake.
I knew this shit wasn't fake.
And Ross, you have a shirt of him holding up the
I know.
trash man.
It's
right?
so stupid that I didn't wear it, but it's also like it's still a
Yeah.
little chilly out at night. You know, I don't know.
From Das Bootleg. Yeah, it's a good one. I actually got their new Das Bootleg cricket shirt.
Oh man, I was gonna get that,
Yeah, I got it.
but now I'm starting to wonder if I'm like accumulating too much It's Always Sunny gear and items in general, and I just look like a freak. Like I have like 4 It's Always Sunny things behind me.
How about just Das Bootleg shirts? I have like 12 or something.
Yeah, I have like 5, and they're like the only ones I wear.
Guys, that's the end of the episode. So, of course, I got to ask these questions. Will, we're going to start with you. What is your favorite character this episode?
Oh, man. That one's kind of hard. Artemis, probably.
Yeah, I mean, Artemis, yeah, she's definitely yeah, she's there. Totally Artemis. Ross, what about you?
Damn. I'm going to give it to Piper.
I'm also giving it to the Maniac. Yeah,
We
I have
only
to
get
give
him
it to the
once,
Maniac.
you know.
Yeah.
We only get him once.
No, we get him one more time. He comes back in the Vigoron.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right. We only get him
Yeah,
twice, guys. We only get him twice.
And I mean, his voice, the acting. Or what is your favorite line of dialogue? Ross, let's go with you first this time.
His mania is not confined to the ring.
That's a great line. His mania is not confined to the ring. It's a great use of language.
Yeah.
And Will, what do you got for a favorite line?
I'm torn. Well, I think I gotta go with probably just the "oh shit, I get you." Like
The nonchalantness.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I wanted to be on this specific episode is just that ending with him, you know, slashing Cricket's throat with the trash can, and just being so bewildered. Like it's one of the top 5 like endings. For me, it's just like it's one that sticks in my head. Like that's the scene that is in my head when I think of this episode.
You know what? That's a good point you brought up. This is a great ending. Like this is a perfect
it's so,
ending.
Like, culminating. Like
yeah,
it's very like it wraps up so well. But also, if you think about it, there's so many loose ends at the same time. But you don't care because you got so satisfied.
Yeah,
you want to get satisfied, don't you?
I demanded satisfaction.
Yeah, this is a great ending. You're right. Yeah. And what was your other torn? What was your other line? Do you have another line you were thinking of too?
I mean, probably either of the times Artemis is like, "You stupid bitch.
I was gonna say my favorite line is "You stupid bitch." It's been in my head like take your best shot, you stupid. She lays into it like
she's grooving into it too.
I'm telling you, it would shatter me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to withstand that.
I think also Artemis, she takes on, to see. I don't know. I guess I think that like when she sees what Dee did and was then trying to do, like, oh yeah, I'll take over for this, disabled thing. It's like, oh, now you want him back because you realize that he's not, and like that's shitty. And like where she's like, back off, she's like, no, such and such, and she's like,
yeah,
come at me, you stupid bitch, like
just, so sassy.
Yeah, and then just her
savage,
like yeah, bitch. I had backed that scene up. Watch that.
What was Dee's when Dee says, I'm gonna pull out the big guns?
I know what were the big guns?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess her revealing that Artemis is a strange woman at the wrestling event.
I mean, it's a little late to bring out the guns.
All right, so Will, what is your favorite scene this episode?
The bus terminal one, specifically with Frank and him saluting and does that sideways pan, and there's that little American flag sticker on the bus, and it's just like so bizarre. Like I love it. Just
it's great. Is it Ross?
Yes. I'm really torn on this one too. It's either the bus stop or just the ending in general.
Yeah, you got to pick one. You have to pick one.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
What's your favorite scene?
I know. Let's go with the ending. It's just, it's too good.
And I'm gonna go. My favorite scene is when Charlie gets hit with the razor wire, and they all start freaking out about the maniac. There's a lot, like,
it has a lot of fun.
So much happens in that scene. Like, he was calling you the N-word. Me? Mac freaking out at the end of that is so funny.
You're like, yeah, exactly. Like in that scene, Mac got handed like lava, and he's like, what?
Yeah.
Like he freaks. He goes to the extreme.
And just all of them too being like, no, like we can't. He's got chestnuts. Like they can't. Like they're just done. I just love it. It made me laugh so much.
I wish they would have called back to that Charlie getting hit with the razor wire because he held his stuff for so long. If the next scene was them going to get Cricket, if you would have had just a little blood spot or something on there, just like in his crotch, that would have been like
or
missed
even
opportunity for a little blood.
Even like Cricket after he blew the sand in his eyes, like kicks him in the balls again. You know what I mean? Like it happens again.
Insult to injury.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the IMDb Trivia Challenge. These are 3 trivia facts. One is from the website IMDb. 2 of them are made up by me. Please, Will and Ross, please guess the one that is actually from the website, not the ones that were made up by me. Number 1. There is an alternate ending where Dee beats everyone up in the end. Number 2. The song Real American cost the show $100,000 to use. Number 3. Ben the Soldier wears a combat patch of the 4th Infantry Division.
I don't even know.
Will? 1, 2, or 3?
Is the true one 2, I think. I'm going to say 2.
2 is the song Real American cost the show $100,000.
Sure.
Ross?
I'm going to go number 3.
The correct answer is... It's like a game show, real dramatic. Din, din, din. We'll be right back after these messages. So the answer is number 3. Ben wears the infantry, the 4th Infantry Division patch. That's his platoon, I guess.
Oh, nice.
These are getting better.
Yeah, it's getting better. We had one that was like truly not. It was fake. It wasn't even real.
Yeah, it wasn't even real. It happened a couple episodes ago.
All right, so that brings us to our final thoughts here, gentlemen. Does the Maniac love this episode, or this episode sucks? Terrorist rule.
My boys, the Maniac loves this episode.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say the Maniac loves this. This episode is. This is my top 5.
Yeah,
I'd put this
after
in my top
rewatching, I think this is my top 5, and I love how physical the ending is. We don't get to see them do stuff like this too often. So it's man.
we get costumes, we get a song, we get a performance,
I know.
we get incredible guest stars.
Right.
Like every character has something to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's great.
Yeah.
It's
the ending's
definitely one of my
incredible.
favorites.
It's so good.
Huge pays up.
That's gonna do it for us here at the Always Sunny Cast. Will, you got anything you want to promote? You got an Instagram? Anything anyone can check out? You're a master of metalworks. Is that correct?
Yes. If you want to see me post, I don't know, like once or twice annually, come and see me at it's Morris Metalwork. It's work or works. Morris Metalworks. MorrisMetalworks at Instagram.com. So
nice.
Check out some of the stuff I've made. Maybe if I get more followers, I'll post more stuff because I've got like 3 years of pictures that I could post, but I just don't social media that much.
Let the world have them. Stop being stingy. Let them go. Give them to us.
Who would win the fight? You or Magneto from X-Men?
Me, definitely.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Well, he's got magnetic powers. You have no idea about my powers. So.
Oh, wow. And you are a master of metal, so.
Thank you so much for joining us. That was it was really fun. It was awesome to have you. Great to have another perspective on the show. And we appreciate helping us lift the load.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a blast. I've already spent so much time with you guys. It's hard to not feel like I'm listening to a podcast. I'm like, oh, right, I should input things. So I'm like, yeah.
Well,
no,
that's
I'm seriously.
Right, yeah, sure. No, I hear that for sure, yeah.
Start daydreaming because I listen to, but anyway, you kept me company. So
hey, we appreciate that. Yeah, we that's why we do this. Right, Ross?
We have a reason why we do this?
I knew it was going to be. All right, well, Ross, what do we got going on the next time we record?
We got one that, I haven't honestly watched in a long time. It's Patty's Pub, home of the original Kitten Mittens.
Is your cat walking too loudly?
That's right. We get a great infomercial
making too
from
much
Charlie.
noise all the time.
I'm actually very familiar with this episode. This is the dick towel.
Yep. No, I know like some of the beats, just like I can't remember the little funnies, you know what I mean?
We're gonna get the lawyer. This episode.
Ooh. How many times has he been in this season?
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's popping up. Yeah, he's popping up.
You get Patty's shotgun.
Yeah, Patty's shotgun. I was gonna say the Patty's shotgun.
And
is the Patty's egg in this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the models.
You're right.
The models. Yeah, the models.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
These two beautiful, bulksome women.
And the actual dick towel that dicktowel.com, which is an actual thing. This is and of course D has a contract for merchandising rights that Mac eats. We're gonna get some great lawyer stuff this next episode, I think.
All right, cool. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to it because it's I know it's such a I don't know. It's got some big moments in there, and I
think it's very funny. Yeah.
Really
Dennis in a thong. Dennis in a Patty's thong.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
That happens.
Oh yeah, this is when they just go merch crazy.
Yeah. This is the one that it was like a big toss up because I was like, oh, Wrestle for Troops. There's so many just banger episodes in the season that I was
right.
I know.
I wanted to, but Kitten Mittens has got a special place in my heart. It's my runner up, I would say. So.
Oh, nice. We're inching ever closer to my favorite episode, Mac and Charlie Write a Movie. We are inching ever so close to it. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, please join us next time. Thanks for listening. And until then, a good day to you.
Always Sunny Cast is not endorsed or affiliated with Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the FXX Network, or Philadelphia. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of Eric Regan and Ross Northrop. Email thoughts, questions, suggestions, corrections, or things we just plain forgot to alwayssunnycastpod@gmail.com. And if you have a moment, please rate, subscribe, and review the podcast. And as always, thanks for listening, you jabronis.